Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Data Playbook. Today we're going to go over some fantasy stats, some injury reports. Unfortunately, I did not get all the data from the first week fully incorporated. It has some underlying issues, but I've managed to make do with what we have. So, more or less, I'm going to actually just present to you what I have. If it's useful for you, then great. You may need to pause the video at times to get that full data for yourself, but it's up to you on how you want to use this. So I'm just going to present it to you, and we'll move forward for today. All right. So the first thing I wanted to bring up was just the schedule. This is week 2. You have your dates here. You have your team matchups. I cut down some of this so you can see your lines a little better in here. I'll scroll over. So I'm not going to go through all of this. There's not enough time for me today. I'm sorry, but if anybody wants any of this information, here it is. Okay, so the next thing to bring up is I did take into account of all the injuries. I tried to get what I could. I got it from ESPN, mostly just questionable things, as well as some people who are out. But if you have them, you already know about that. So I would take some action about some waivers tonight. I am supposed to be able to get an actual list of the injury report from this tool, but it's not set up correctly at the moment. I also had a hard time getting all the data, so I had to actually import the data from a different source in a different way, So I do still have it, but I just don't have enough time to go through all of it in detail. But I tried to grab the injury report, which I should also be able to get automatically from this tool, but it just wasn't available. I went and grabbed the information from ESPN and I just took note of it. So this is the injury report that I managed to grab. If there's anything on this list that you're concerned about, or if you own, then I would consider looking at something else to back them up just in case you needed it. Many of these are just smaller injuries that are expected to play next week, but not all of them are. Go look up your own player if they end up on this list. I want to also note that there's significantly more injuries than there are listed on this list, but this was the entire skill player list that I managed to grab. I didn't include every single player that was injured on the day of that wasn't also listed as questionable in the last couple days. So you might want to go double check on some of those ones. I found no one doubtful. These were the only ones out, again, of the skill players. So I would go look and also consider the different defensive people. There's much more defensive injuries during this whole time frame, and there's much more offensive linemen that got hurt. So that might affect you in the long term with other different positions, even though your skill player may not be hurt. It's worth investigating. I want to do more of that, but I just need the injury reports and I need to be able to get some more stats from those players. So that will be something in the future, but for now I wanted to present this list in case anybody needed it for now. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot to update. I've been working on the panels a little bit just to look at them, try to change them, but I didn't get very far, so you'll notice that this is a little smaller and concise. This does include 2025 now, as well as the schedule up here. If there's any teams that you guys want to let me know or want to look at specifically, let me know in the comments. But otherwise, this panel is going to be worked on more. I just needed to make sure I got the most recent stats, and so that's what most of the work's been on lately. If I bring up this fantasy panel, and I look specifically at the week 1 ones, these are all our top scorers. These are the top 44 scorers in the league. So I'll leave this up for a minute if you're curious about this. So these are the top scoring running backs of week 1. I'm going to just leave this up again if you need information. Maybe some of these people are available. Maybe it matters to you in some way. But these are the top scoring running backs and their respective teams in week 1. This is ranked by the fantasy points rather than the PPR. So you do have people like Henderson who had 5.1, but 11.1 with PPR. So maybe I should rank this by PPR. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Just to add on to the list, we started at 44, so here's down to 85. Not that there's much left down at this point, but if you need something and it's on the waivers, maybe somebody out here can help you. Now looking at the top scoring quarterbacks, these are all the quarterbacks. Looking at the top wide receivers for this week, this is what you have. Here's your top tight ends. Anyway, I'm sorry I don't have more. I'm sorry this is a short one. Hopefully some of that information helped you out. Mostly just trying to, paste it on top of everything and see if anybody can find it useful. You know what? Maybe for the last part of this video, I will just go team by team, take a quick screenshot of each, couple seconds of each, and then you can decide if that's useful, decide what might be beneficial for you. Have at it. Oh no, the RAMs aren't working. I understand why it's not, but I don't have time to fix it. But I'll have that fixed for next video. I'm sorry, people. Anyway, with that, I'm sorry that it's a short video. I'm sorry there's not too much in this, but I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that you can use it. Let me know what you guys thought. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.